بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين جل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك رحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. So continuing our discussion about ad-dalalatul lafziyya, about linguistic indication, then we said that sometimes we use something in its real sense in ma'na al-haqiqi, and that is to use it for the meaning for which it is designated. So if we use asad for lion, this is haqiqi. But sometimes we use it in metaphorical sense. We say asad and we mean rajulun shuja, brave man. So this is majaz. Now the question is, how can we distinguish between al-ma'na al-haqiqi, which is maybe one, and metaphorical meanings, which can be more than one? Of course, in mushtarak al-lafzi, even ma'na al-haqiqi can be more than one. Yeah? But for every real meaning, there can be many ma'na al-majazi, because you can use asad for lion, this is one. But you can use asad for rajul shuja, but maybe there is a way to use it for another thing. For example, if someone's hair and beard are a lot, maybe say it's like lion. If it is understood, it should be something which is understood, not something which is not understood. Yes, if it is understood. So, how to distinguish between al-ma'na al-haqiqi wal-ma'na al-majazi, real meaning and metaphorical meaning? In previous books we discussed this, but here we discuss it with more details. The first thing that ulama al-usul mention is at-tabadur. Tabadur means to precede, to come quickly. When you hear a term, and we suppose that you are the person who knows the language, either you are ahlul luqa, you are yourself native, or even if you have learned the language, you have been so much hearing from native people that you have the same understanding as native. So anyone who knows language, when he hear a term, the meaning that quickly comes to his mind or her mind, that is ma'na al-haqiqi. Maybe ma'na al-majazi comes to his mind, but later with some difference. For example, when I say asad, maybe rajul shuja also comes to your mind, but it comes later, and it's always also in need of some evidence. If you remember, we said ma'na al-majazi is in need of qarinatun sarifah, means qarinatun tasrifu dhihn an al-ma'na al-haqiqi ila al-ma'na al-majazi, a kind of evidence that directs away our mind from ma'na haqiqi to ma'na majazi. So the first thing is at-tabadur. Ad-dalil. So ad-darsul hadi ashar, ad-dalil al-shar'i al-lafzi, linguistic, religious reference or indication. Alamatul haqiqati wal majaz, signs of real and metaphorical meanings. Dhakar al-mashhur, yeah, means a common view among ulama al-usul is عدة علامات لتمييز المعنى الحقيقي عن المجازي. Few signs for distinguishing real meaning from metaphorical meaning. منها, the first sign, التبادر من اللفظ. التبادر من اللفظ. What does it mean? He himself explains. أي انسباق المعنى إلى الذهن. معنى precedes and comes quickly to mind. منه means من اللفظ. Yeah? So when you hear the term, meaning quickly comes to your mind. لأن المعنى المجازي لا يتبادر من اللفظ إلا بضم القرينة. Because metaphorical meaning would not quickly come to our mind unless you put qarina, which would indicate that another meaning is meant. فإذا حصل التبادر بدون قرينة كشف عن كون المتبادر معنى حقيقيا. If tabadur happens without evidence, it would discover for us, it would clarify for us that this thing that comes first is real meaning. Al-mutabadir means the one that comes first, precedes, is ma'nan haqiqi, is real meaning. وَقَدْ يُعْتَرَضُ عَلَى ذَلِكَ. There is a very famous classic objection here. This is a very common objection. Make me remember from before also. They say, if we know the meaning which is haqiqi, then tabadur makes sense. But if you don't know what is haqiqi, what is majazi, how tabadur can happen? If someone is totally unaware of what is haqiqi and what is majazi, then why al-ma'na al-haqiqi precedes? So if you know, then you don't need tabadur. If you don't know, tabadur cannot happen. Yeah? If you have no clue, tabadur cannot happen. If you know, then you don't need tabadur. What is the answer? You know the language, you know the meanings, but bil ijmal. So you have been hearing, using this term, so over time you have developed a sound and fair understanding. But now with the help of tabadur, we want to bring out in a very specific way what we already know. Yeah? So many times maybe we use terms even without thinking about what is ma'na al-haqiqi, because we are so much used to it that we don't think about ma'na. Yeah? What is haqiqi, what is majazi, what is lafz. Just we think about one ma'na, which is haqiqi, but we don't think it is haqiqi. Yeah? Whenever you talk, do you make niyyah that I am going to use these terms in their real meanings, qurbatan ila Allah? You don't make niyyah. Yeah, you just use it. But you want to use it in ma'na al-haqiqi, of course, unless there is qarina or evidence that it's called majaz. So, وَقَدْ يُعْتَرَضُ عَلَى ذَلِكَ. It is objected بأن تبادر المعنى الحقيقي من اللفظ يتوقف على علم الشخص بالواضع. For real meaning to proceed to our mind, it depends on what? Knowledge of the person about wada, designation. فإذا توقف علمه بالوضع على هذه العلامة. So in order to understand tabadur, you should know the meaning. But if you say, from tabadur we understand the meaning, it becomes vicious circle. Lazimat dawra. Okay? How can you have tabadur? You have to know what is the meaning. Then, from tabadur, you say, I want to understand the meaning, but tabadur itself depends on knowing the meaning. It's vicious circle. وَأُجِيبَ عَلَى ذَلِكَ بأن التبادر يتوقف على العلم الارتكازي بالمعنى. It has been responded by saying that what we need for tabadur is just al-ilm al-ijmali bil-ma'na. You don't need to have a specific, detailed, articulated understanding of meaning. You just have an idea. Because you are ahlul luqa or you have learned that language, so you have an idea, but bil-ijmal. Okay? So, tabadur depends on al-ilm al-irtikazi bil-ma'na, something which is in your self, it is inside you. It's irtikaz, means something which is not detailed and expanded and articulated. It's inside. وَهُوَ الْعِلْمُ الْمُتَرَسِّخُ فِي النَّفْسِ. It's a knowledge which is established inside, but يَلْتَئِمُ مَعَ الْغَفْلَةِ عَنْهُ فِعْلًا. But it is compatible with heedlessness. Yeah, like in the salat, we say niyat irtikazi is enough. In the sense that maybe when you are doing ruku or sujud, you are not thinking about the niyyah. But if I ask you and you pay attention, you can explain that is the niyyah. But you don't need always keep that niyyah actively in mind, consciously in mind. You know, it's there, but you don't need to keep it always actively there. That's a kind of idea which is there. So, what we need for tabadur is al-ilmul irtikazi, knowledge which is internal and it's holistic about the meaning. And this knowledge is established in the soul, and it is yalta'imu ma'al qafla. It's possible to be there with heedlessness. Fi'lan means you can be actually heedless about it. Wal matlubu min at-tabadur. But what we want to gain from tabadur is not al-ilm al-ijmali. If it was al-ilm al-ijmali, yes, it becomes vicious circle. So, first we have al-ilm al-irtikazi. Then we have tabadur. Then we have al-ilm al-tafsili. So the knowledge which depends on tabadur is different from the knowledge that tabadur depends on. Okay? وَالْمَطْلُوبُ مِنَ التَّبَادُرِ الْعِلْمُ الْفِعْلِي. It is the actual knowledge, not knowledge with qafla, active knowledge, conscious knowledge, actual knowledge. Al-mutaqawwim bil-iltifat, which is made with attention. It has to be active and conscious. Tabadur, yes. Because tabadur gives you clear, a specific understanding of the meaning. But what tabadur needs is to have an idea about meaning. فَلَا دَوْرَةً. So there is no vicious circle. كما أن افتراض كون التبادر عند العالم علامة عند الجاهل لا دور فيه إذن. Also, for those who are not familiar with the language, Okay? If someone doesn't know the language, can see what this term brings first to the mind of the people who are aware of the language. So their knowledge of Jahil depends on tabadur for the person who has knowledge of the Lughah. This is also not vicious circle. It's very clear, obvious, because someone's knowledge depends on tabadur, and tabadur depends on another person's knowledge. وَالتَّحْقِيق. Now, Ayatollah Sad Rahmatullah Alayh wants to mention his own opinion. وَالتَّحْقِيق أن الاعتراض بالدور لا محل له أساسا. He says the view, the opinion after careful examination is that there is no place at all for this objection. أن الاعتراض بالدور لا محل له أساسا. There is no place for it at all. Why? Because this objection presupposes that we should have knowledge about the meaning. And then we say, normally ulama say that knowledge is ijmali, the knowledge that we need. But based on the idea of Shaykh Sad, which is the idea of association of ideas. So even you may not be aware of that association. He says, لأنه يعني لأن الاعتراض مبني على افتراض أن انتقال الذهن إلى المعنى من اللفظ فرع العلم بالوضع. This اعتراض is based on this assumption that mind is transferred from lafz to meaning, and this transfer is dependent on knowledge about designation. أن انتقال الذهن إلى المعنى من اللفظ means من اللفظ إلى المعنى, if you want to consider time-wise. So the transition of zihn from lafz to meaning, this is the assumption, depends on knowing designation. This is the basis of this objection. Yeah? The people who have objected, they thought tabadur needs knowing wada, because intiqal depends on was. ما أنه فرع نفس الوضع. But what we need is not al-ilm bil-wada. We need wada itself. We need association between lafz and meaning in our mind. Tada'il ma'ani. You remember? We need that. We don't need to also be conscious of that. So, according to Ayatollah Sa'ad, tabadur depends on wada, not ilm bil wada. And what we want to achieve from tabadur is al-ilm bil-ma'na al-haqiqi, bil-ma'na al-mawdu' له. ما أنه يعني أن الانتقال فرع نفس الوضع depends on wada itself, not on knowledge about wada. What is wada itself? As a reminder, he says, أي وجود عملية القرن الأكيد بين تصور اللفظ وتصور المعنى في ذهن الشخص. That operation that we mentioned, that two things when so much repeatedly are seen by our mind, association happens between them, and by thinking of one of them, the other one comes to our mind. Yeah? Tada'il ma'ani. So Vaz is this emergence of such relation between lafz and ma'na. There is no need for knowledge about this to have vaz. Vaz is not dependent on knowledge. Fatiflur radhi'ah. For example, a child, a baby, which is fostered, pardon? Infant, very child, yeah, a small child, young child who is fostered. الذي اقترنت عنده كلمة ماما برؤية أمه. In his mind, whenever he has seen his mother or her mother, also the term mama has been heard, listened, yeah? So when the child sees mother, thinks of mama, and when he hears mama, think of mother, yeah? In Urdu, you say mama?
Yeah. Yes, very close. Ma, ammi.
So, الطفل الرضيع الذي اقترنت عنده كلمة ماما برؤية أمه يكفي نفس هذا الاقتران الأكيد ليتصور أمه عندما يسمع كلمة ماما. So when he has had experience of seeing mother and hearing mama as a term many times, as soon as he hears this, the other one comes to his mind. ما أنه ليس عالما بالوضع. You cannot say the infant is aware of designation of this term for that, yeah? إذ لا يعرف معنى الوضع. The infant doesn't understand what is وضع. فالتبادر إذن يتوقف على وجود عملية القرن الأكيد بين التصورين في ذهن الشخص. So تبادر depends on existence of this association of ideas between two conceptions in the mind of the person. وَالْمَطْلُوبُ مِنَ التَّبَادُرِ. But what we expect to achieve through tabadur is different. Al-Qarn al-Akid is the basis for tabadur. So tabadur depends on Al-Qarn al-Akid. But what depends on tabadur is al-ilmu بالمعنى الحقيقي. والمطلوب من التبادر تحصيل العلم بالوضع أي العلم بذلك القرن الأكيد. فلا دورة. Is it clear? So قرن الأكيد is the basis, association of ideas, then تبادر, then العلم بالوضع. The second way for establishing معنى الحقيقي is صحة الحمل. What does it mean? If you want to understand whether something is real meaning of a term or not, see whether you can use it as a predicate for that term or not. For example, you don't know the meaning of Asad. You have an idea, but not very specifically. And you think it can be lion, it can be brave man, and other things. So if you can say al-asadu is that wild animal which roars, if you can use it as a hamster, this is Asad, then this is man al-haqiqi. But if you cannot use it as a predicate unless you make some extra efforts, then that is majaz. So can you apply that term to this animal or not? If you can easily apply it, then it is haqiqi. If you cannot easily apply it and you need to say, for example, animal which is a brave person, then this is majazi. Of course, the same problem, the same objection is repeated here. Again, here some people have said, if you don't know the meaning how can you decide whether haml is correct or not? And if you know the meaning, then you don't need to use it as a sign. The same answer repeats. Whatever we said there repeats here. Either you say, we know it ijmalan, but we want to know tafsilan, or you say it as Shaykh Sad says, that tabadur depends on qarn al-akid, and what we want to achieve through tabadur is al-ilmu bil-ma'na al-haqiqi. So, وَمِنْهَا, ha refers to what? Alamatul haqiqa. One of the signs of haqiqa is sihhatul haml. Okay? فَإِنْ صَحَّ الْحَمْلُ الْأَوَّلِيُّ الذَّاتِ. It is very interesting that in our usul we study hamla awwaliya zati and hamla shayya sanai. So hamla awwaliya zati is when subject and predicate are identical in concept and mahiyya. Yeah? اتحدا مفهوما وماهية. Like al-insanu haywanun natiq or al-insanu haywanun al-insanu natiqun. So if you use jins or fast or no, it becomes hamla awwaliya dhati. فإن صح الحمل الأولي الذاتي لللفظ المراد استعلام حاله على معنى ثبت كونه هو المعنى الموضوع له. If it is correct, if it is valid to use as hamla awwaliya dhati the term that we want to understand its condition, to use it as a haml for the meaning that it is proved to be mawdu' lah. Or you can say in this way, it's better to say this way. فإن صح الحمل الأولي الذاتي لللفظ المراد استعلام حاله على معنى ثبت كونه هو المعنى الموضوع له. Please read it in this way. So this would be jaza for إن صح. إن is جملة شرطية. إن صح الحمل الأولي الذاتي. If it is correct as hamla awwaliya zati to use that lafz that you want to inquire about its condition for that meaning. So any meaning for which you can use asad bil haml al awwali, you can use water bil haml al awwali, you can use human being bil haml al awwali, that becomes its real meaning. ثبت كونه هو المعنى الموضوع له. It will be established that that is the meaning for which it is designated. But وَإِنْ صَحَّ الْحَمْلُ الشَّائِعُ ثَبَتَ كَوْنُ الْمَحْمُولَ عَلَيْهِ مِصْدَاقًا لِعِنْوَانٍ هُوَ الْمَعْنَى الْمَوْضُوعُ لَهُ اللَّفْظ. But if it is not haml awwali, it is haml shayya. Haml shayya is when mawzu and mahmul are different in mafhumiyya. They have ittihad fil kharij. Existentially, they have some kind of unity. Like al-insanu dhahikun. Dhahik is a different concept from insan, but there can be cases that insan and dhahik come together. Okay? So, if you cannot use it as hamla awwali and you can use it as hamla shayya, it would be established that كون المحمول عليه, the subject محمول عليه is subject, مصداقا لعنوان هو المعنى الموضوع. It's not the same as that in meaning, but it would be misdaq for that. It would be an instance of that meaning for which it is designated. Because in a haml shaliya, اتحاد وجودي, اتحاد خارجي, external or existential connection is enough. Okay? So it becomes mistaq. But if neither hamla awwali nor hamla shayi is correct, then it means that they are totally different. Okay? So if I can say this is Asad بالحمل الأولي, then that is its real meaning. If I can say that this is Mashi, walking, but this is Haml Shaya, walking is Haml Shaya. So it means that it is an instance for walking, for Mashi, not the meaning of Mashi. And if it is neither Haml Awwali nor Haml Shaya, I cannot use it as Haml at all. It means that their meaning is different. وَإِذَا لَمْ يَصِحْ كِلَا الْحَمْلَيْنِ, if none of the two types of predication is correct, ثبت عدم كون المحمول عليه نفس المعنى الموضوع له ولا مصداقه. It would be established that the meaning for which the term is designated is neither that meaning itself, mahmul is not neither the meaning which is designated for, nor it is an instance of that. وَالصَّحِيحُ أَنَّ صِحَّةَ الْحَامْلِ أَنَّمَا تَكُونُ عَلَامَةً عَلَى كَوْنِ الْمَحْمُولِ عَلَيْهِ هو نفس المعنى المراد في المحمول أو مصداق المعنى المراد. أما أن هذا المعنى المراد في جانب المحمول هل هو معنى حقيقي لللفظ أو مجازي فلا سبيل إلى تعيين ذلك عن طريق صحة الحمل، بل لا بد أن يرجع الإنسان إلى مرتكزاته لكي يعين ذلك. Ayatollah Sad says there is a valid point here. Sihhatul Haml does not necessarily by itself indicate that this is ma'na al-haqiqi. Because even al-ma'na al-majazi can be used bil-haml al-awwali. So we can use Rajul al-Shuja, which is the metaphorical sense for Asad, for someone who is Rajul al-Shuja. For example, if there is a Rajul al-Shuja, we can say he is Asad, and it can be bil-haml al-awwali. Of course, if we suppose that this is its no, because here it's not no, no is insan. But another meaning, for example, if we can find an example that ma'na al-majazi, suppose, for example, if we can mean, pardon? Yeah, but moon here means bright. It doesn't, and to be bright is not jinsu faslo, no. Yeah, it's not jinsu faslo. But suppose, for example, for a human being, if we say, it's very difficult to use ma'na al-majazi as hamla awwali. For example, I don't know, if you say a human being is an angel, and we mean by angel, for example, a good human being, then maybe in this way we can say there is a kind of hamla awwali, a good human, in the sense of a good human being. What Ayatollah Sad says that even in hamla majazi, there can be hamla awwali and hamla shaya. So it's not that all hamla awwali is ma'nai haqiqi. What is important is to know the meaning and to know that is this meaning something that is designated for or not. To be hamla awwali or shayid would not contradict with majazi. Therefore cannot be a sign for haqiqi. It does not contradict majazi. It cannot be a sign for haqiqi.
What is important to know?
Yeah. So what we need to know is to know what is the meaning for which this term is designated. And just to be hamla awwali is not enough. Because even majazi can be hamla awwali. Or just to be hamla shaya is not enough to say that this is mistaq for ma'na al-haqiqi. Shaya can be mistaq for ma'na al-majazi. For example, if I say this human being is Asad and I mean rajul shuja. So هذا الإنسان رجل شجاع. Instead of rajul shuja, I say Asad. This is hamla shaya. Because shaja'a for insan is hamla shaya. This is a good example. For hamla, for no is very difficult, but like this. Al-insanu asadun, and we mean by asad rajul shuja. This is majazi, but still hamla shaya. Because insan and asad existentially have ittihad, unity. Okay? So, I repeat again. As-sahihu anna sihhat al-haml annama takunu alamatan ala kawn al-mahmul alayh huwa nafs al-ma'na al-murad fi al-mahmul aw mistaq al-ma'na al-murad. The correct opinion that Shaykh Saad prefers is this, that validity or possibility, correctness of haml can only be a sign على كون المحمول عليه هو نفس المعنى المراد في المحمول أو مصداق المعنى المراد. Either it is exactly the meaning which is meant, or it's an instance for what is meant. But what is meant can be metaphorical, can be real. Murad doesn't mean haqiqi necessarily. You understand? Murad means what is meant. You can mean haqiqi, you can mean majazi. أما أن هذا المعنى المراد في جانب المحمول هل هو معنى حقيقي لللفظ أو مجازي فلا سبيل إلى تعيين ذلك عن طريق صحة له. We cannot decide whether what is meant is haqiqi or majazi based on صحة ham, because صحة ham is just telling us this is meant. So what should we do? We should refer to what is irtikazi in us, what is inside us. Like tabadur again. You have to refer to yourself and see this meaning which is meant, is it the meaning that is real meaning without evidence comes to your mind, or it is the meaning that needs evidence and it is majazi. The third way, al-ittirad. Ittirad means frequency, very common and frequent. And we mean here by ittirad هو أن يصح استعمال اللفظ في المعنى المشكوك كونه حقيقيا في جميع الحالات وبلحاظ أي فرد من أفراد ذلك المعنى. We mean by ittirad that it is correct to use that term for that meaning that you have doubt whether it is haqiqi or not in all circumstances and with respect to all individuals. So when you say cow for baqar, cow can be used for any baqar, young, old, thin, fat, different color, yeah, any part of the world. So this shows that baqar is the real meaning of cow. فيدل الاضطراد على صحة فيدل الاضطراد في صحة الاستعمال على كونه هو المعنى الحقيقي لللفظ. So if this is the case, that it can be used for all types of it, all individuals of it, under all circumstances, then we realize that there is a kind of unity and they completely match each other. So this is معنى الحقيقي. إذ لا اضطراد في صحة الاستعمال في المعنى المجازي. Because in معنى مجازي, you cannot use it in all circumstances. In معنى المجازي, only sometimes you can use it when there is evidence. Okay? Again, there is an objection here. وقد أجيب على ذلك بأن الاستعمال في معنى إذا صح مجازا ولو في حال وبلحاظ فرد صح دائما. He says there is an objection, and the objection is this. They say, when we can say رجل شجاع, and when we say Asad and we mean رجل شجاع, when you have a person who is brave, if you have someone who is brave, you can say he is Asad. Okay? Question: how many times you can use Asad for رجل شجاع? As many as you like. In any part of the world. For people for different age. So the same as معنى الحقيقي, معنى المجازي also is مضطرد. But the difference is this. معنى المجازي is مضطرد with the addition of شجاعة. For every brave person, we can metaphorically say Asad, but brave person. But for any bakar, we can say cow without evidence. Okay, so there is a difference here. Although this objection is there, but the difference is this. قد أجيب على ذلك بأن الاستعمال في معنى إذا صح مجازا ولو في حال وبلحاظ فرد صح دائما. If it is correct to use in metaphorical sense, even in one case, in certain circumstances, then you can generalize it and always in similar condition use that term in معنى مجازي. It's not that only this person who is brave can be called lion. You cannot say, don't use lion for any other brave person. Just use lion as brave for this person. You cannot say that. إذا صح مجازا ولو في حال وبلحاظ فرد صح دائما. If it is correct in a metaphorical sense, ولو in في حال, even if it is in certain circumstances or condition, or for one particular person, it would be valid all the time. وبلحاظ سائر الأفراد مع الحفاظ على كل الخصوصيات والشؤون التي بها صح الاستعمال في تلك الحالة أو في ذلك الفرد. فالاضطراد ثابت إذن في المعاني المجازية أيضا مع الحفاظ على الخصوصيات التي بها صح الاستعمال. So it is also possible that we use it with all those particularities. So what do you need for majazi? You need a brave person. With that particularity, with that brevity, you can use it, or bravery, you can use it in other cases. But bring khususiyat, bring all those details that you had considered in majaz. Okay? You know, one example for majaz is kathir al-ramad, ista'areh. Kathir al-ramad, Arabs, if someone is very generous, in the past, now in the cities at least, they don't use this. Because in the past they used to have burn wood. And ramad means ash. So when they said someone has lots of ashes, it means that he is very generous because he's all the time cooking. And then they produce lots of ash. Yeah? So they say kathirul ramad. Or jabanul kalb. This also meant generous. Someone's dog is fearful because dog barks, but when people all the time keep coming, this dog becomes fearful. So this meant he's generous. Star. But the thing is that for majaz and ista'ara, if you have that point, for example, generosity, bravery, all the time you can use it. You cannot say I only can use it for this person. Yeah? Yeah, for any brave you can use that. So اعتراض would be there. صح الاستعمال في تلك الحالة أو في ذلك الفعل. So for that condition or that person you can use it. So اعتراض is there even in metaphorical meanings. Provided that you protect, حفاظ, you protect, you save those خصوصيات, those particularities that you need. Is it generosity or bravery or whatever? Okay. So, alhamdulillah, we finished alamatul haqiqati wal majaz. So, we have three things. Tabadur, sihhatul haml, wa adamu sihhat salb. But here he just mentions sihhatul haml. But also they say adamu sihhat salb. And the third is ittirad. Inshallah, we continue the discussion about dalalatul lafziyya next session. Wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillah rabbil alamin.